Hello everybody and welcome back to Newegg TV. I'm Steve and today we have a very special guest in our studio from Linksys. This is Michael. Michael, how are you?
Doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing really well, man. Yeah. Thank you. I'm really excited. You got a brand new router in front of me. I'm always excited about something like this, and this is a very special router, but I don't want to get too far into that because I have a couple questions for you first.
Yeah, no problem.
First and foremost, I just want to clear up some information for others out there. Where is Linksys right now? Is it owned by Belkin? Is it owned by Cisco? Where are we right now?
So it's owned by Belkin. We were owned by Cisco before for a little over 9 years. Okay. But the great thing is that the same folks that were working on the WRT54G originally, they're the same team that's still with Belkin that's working on the WRT1900AC,
which is the brand new awesome router on the market right now.
Right.
So this thing's got features across the board that are amazing. All right, well, I just want to mention one small thing. How did we go from this router, the WRT54GL, to the AC1900?
Well, there's tons of technologies that have really helped progress that. So we've gone from a wireless G, we've gone through, of course, wireless N, dual band N, and now we're on the latest and greatest spec on here with wireless AC. So that's the latest and greatest of wireless technology that's out in the market today. And this router not only takes care of everything that you've previously owned, but it's really setting you up for the future as well.
That's awesome. So let's just dive right into it. I mean, this is a WRT54GL.
So yeah, this is the GL. We've made many different versions of this router over the last 11 years. Now, if you think of it, the WRT54G, we've sold over 50 million units over the last 11 years, and this is an amazing router. This is the workhorse. This is the router that everyone's fallen in love with because it was the old reliable. It did the job that our customers wanted. It worked well. It was easy to set up. But now it's getting a little long in the tooth because, as we know, that there's a lot more things we could do on the internet that we could back in 2003.
Absolutely. So I guess that brings us to the star of today's video, the WRT1900AC. And I got to tell you guys, this thing's a beast. If I pick this up, this feels like a typical router I would get used to seeing. This one, however, I know right away it's so much heavier than a standard router. You can actually see inside of it. It's fairly difficult to see, but if you wanted to zoom in, you can actually see just in through the ventilation holes here what is an active fan, right? That's just a basic fan, but then on top of that, there's a lot of weight in there from the different heat sinks that you have passively cooling this device.
Yeah, so we've had to make it a very powerful router to really satisfy the customers that are using this. First off, right off the bat, it's a 1.2 gigahertz processor, and it's a dual core one to boot. So in comparison to the old GL version here, we're talking about a 200 single core. We're moving up to a 1.2 dual core gigahertz processor inside of it, which is just outstanding from that. And then of course we have 256 megs of RAM. Where we only had 16 on the 54G. And then on the system ROM, which we'll talk about here a little bit, what system ROM is really entailed for a lot of customers is going to be 128 megs of system ROM, where we've got a measly 4 on the 54GL. So a huge comparison from there. And then with all that technology and it being wireless AC, we needed to have some proper heat sinks in there, and then for times when it does need a little extra ventilation, we have the fan in there when it needs to turn on. It's not always on. It's always it's just an option for when it does hit certain temperatures. It'll turn on for.
Absolutely. So basically, it's cooled not necessarily just to have a fan in there.
Right.
It's literally going to come on when you need it to, which is great because a lot of times people are going to have these routers on their desk, and you don't want to have a lot of noise when you're using it.
And I'll be honest with you, I've had mine at home, and I've been working on it now for quite some time, and I haven't had my fan turn on. It's a great router. It's very powerful, and it works just as great as my 2003 version did back then as it does today with all the new technologies that we use today.
Okay, well, I want to take a closer look at some of the I/O on this device, if you don't mind. I'm just going to kind of tilt it down a little bit and flip it around so you guys can get a closer look at all the ports here. So you can take a look at that.
Yeah, so we've got a lot of stuff on there. First off, right off the bat, you can see that we have 4 antennas, and these are external and they're removable as well. So you have the ability, if you wanted to pop those antennas off and put new antennas on if you so choose, some higher gain antennas. On the switch options, we have a 4-port gigabit switch, which is a great solution. That also includes the single port WAN as well. So you've got all wired ports, 100% gigabit. And we've done something a little bit differently for connections for our hard drive and printers customers. So right off the bat, you'll notice a USB 3.0 port. So we started to migrate over to that. One, because more devices like printers and hard drives are utilizing the USB 3.0 port. So it's a great option for that. But also we've done something with an eSATA port. So we have a lot of customers that want to be able to network that desktop, traditional desktop eSATA hard drive. Instead of having it just connected to a computer, laptop or desktop, why not network it? So now the WRT1900AC has the ability of taking those great hard drives that we can buy here at Newegg, and now we can network it without having to have a network controller. Now the router becomes that controller, which is awesome.
Very, very good. And also it doubles as a USB port too, is that
yeah, so it also has the ability, if I wanted to, let's say I'm not going to use eSATA, let's say I don't own anything eSATA today, I can use 2 different USB devices. So I can have one on the USB 3.0 and USB 2.0, so I can have 2 hard drives in that capacity as well, which is great.
That's fantastic. So a couple other switches on the back too. I noticed that you guys, aside from this this SMA port, because I actually really enjoy having the ability to swap out to any other antenna I want. I mean, what if I want directional? What if I want to send it really far in one direction? You can do that with something like this, but without having the option to be able to switch out the antennas that are currently come with it, I don't know, just keep that coming. I love devices that have a replaceable antenna. So
again, that's what the original WRT had, so we wanted to stay true to removable antennas, and of course the SMAs are what the industries are really asking for, so of course we wanted to give that to our customers, that option of the removable antennas.
Fantastic. And an actual physical switch here, something where I could feel around for it and actually know, okay, here it is. I'm not able to see it from the angle that I'm looking right now, but in the dark maybe, if you're used to unplugging a port or unplugging the AC power connector, instead of doing that in the dark and possibly dropping it or reaching around back there and not knowing if this is the proper switch, maybe you accidentally turn off the Wi-Fi accidentally. On some routers, that is a possibility. This is a switch you're going to know, which is what it does.
And this is a feature that we've listened to our customers, and being able to put a physical power switch on the router is one thing that they've asked for us, and of course we've obliged with putting this feature onto the router itself. Of course, with all the extra features, why not give them the options of just having that power cycling so they don't have to remove the cable or have to do anything from there. Having that physical power switch, they've asked, we've listened, and we've provided.
That's awesome. So where can our viewers go to tell Linksys more about what they'd like to see in routers?
So of course, they can always take a look at our message boards and everything we have on our Linksys.com. We have a great community there of all the features and things of that nature that we have within our Linksys.com website. So we've got a ton of great stuff from there, and it's a lot of the stuff that's gone into the WRT product lines over the years. So a lot of those feature sets within that, and a lot of the things that we've done to modify and make the router more powerful is really based on our community. So that's really developed into what WRT1900AC is today.
Okay, so we've talked about a couple of different features that's on this router hardware-wise. I know there's a couple other things that we wanted to mention. Can you talk to our viewers about smart Wi-Fi?
Yeah, so this is one thing that not only do we have it on the WRT version, but also on all of our smart Wi-Fi routers, which we've got a few different ones in market today. Now, what smart Wi-Fi allows our customers to do is to manage, control their home network from any smartphone, tablet, or any browser anywhere in the world. So, if you wanted to, if you have kids, you can easily kick them off the network right now from the other side of the world, and it could be on your smartphone, as long as you're connected 3G, 4G, or Wi-Fi. Then you also have some other functionality inside of the home if you wanted to. For example, if you're watching television and you wanted to, to prioritize, let's say Netflix, or you're watching something else online and it's on your Xbox, your DMA, or whatever else you're using. Traditionally, you'd have to open up your computer to do this. Now you can just grab your tablet or smartphone, because that's probably going to be near your person, where you can just go into the app itself and modify it from there.
That's fantastic.
And then guest networking, getting your friends and family. Of course, around holiday times, we're coming up to some big holidays this year. Getting friends and family members over, how do we get them onto their network? And we've made that that opportunity now even simpler with the smart Wi-Fi app, where they can email or text message some of those things.
That's really convenient. I mean, there's been times where I've had family visiting our house, and I'm out getting food or whatever I need to get for that particular event, and then my wife is giving me a call saying, hey, I need to know how to get on the Wi-Fi, and whatever, the password's not working properly, or anything else could be going wrong. And it's just super simple and easy. Here's your own name and password.
Yep.
Don't even worry about it. Next time you come over, it'll still be live. Or I could shut it off. It just depends.
Yeah.
Depends on how that family member is treating me. Remember that. All right, so aside from that though, I just want to mention one last thing. I know that the original WRT was open source ready. How can you reassure me that the WRT1900AC is also going to be that way?
Yeah, it is, and that was one of the things that we wanted to give our customers that option. Of course, we wanted it to ship with smart Wi-Fi because we want to cater to most customers that are going to be taking a look at this for that vehicle of high performance power. They want to be able to stream everywhere inside of the homes, and it needed to be simple to install and set up. So, you know, having smart Wi-Fi is there, but of course, we do have a community of fans of ours that really have fallen in love with open source firmware. And of course, we wanted to give them the option to be able to use whatever they'd like to create for firmwares out in the communities. Excellent. And apply that to the WRT1900AC. So again, we're keeping both customers satisfied. We want simple, easy to use. It's a powerful router, and it's very customizable as well.
All right, guys, we have a special treat for you. It's something I was able to talk to Mike, and he was able to talk to Vince, and he was able to talk to the higher ups that be, to allow us to actually take this hardware out of the casing, just to show you what it looks like on the inside. So I like this kind of stuff. I hope you guys like it too. But Mike, I mean, essentially, this is where you guys started, right? The 54GL.
Yep.
And then here we are at the 1900AC, both the WRT monikers there, but this is clearly the new big dog. And wow, I mean, that weight, now I can understand. I mean, you have all these heat sinks on board just to try and get some of the heat off. And as you said before, the fan really only comes on when it gets too hot, so it's not on all the time. Yeah, and the horsepower, when you look at a 54GL, we're not even using a full board, right? It's kind of like an L-shaped board, if you will, compared to now what we're doing on the 1900AC. It's a far cry. So I mean, we're using significantly more processors, memory, more chips. You know, the wireless technology now are all increased in comparison to previous generation products. So not only are we asking for these things to work in unison, but we're also asking them to be able to manage multiple devices at the same time, and being able to have Netflix and Hulu and all those streams working perfectly, YouTube, if you will, from there. On top of that, being able to have it on a full board, and that's the hard thing. So if you looked at previous generation routers, we've tried to making our routers with multiple boards. So if you take a look at previous generations, we've had multiple layered boards. Now having it on single layered and having all the right chips within the right board, heat sinks working at the same times, and then of course that fan there that of course is only going to turn on when necessary. This is the router of the future, because this is going to sustain all of that horsepower that we need, making all of our content perfect, just like we did back in 2003 with the WRT 54GL. That's fantastic, Mike. Thank you so much. Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks. So I'm just curious, Michael, do you have any closing thoughts for our viewers? So I'm in love with this router, and you don't have to be a technical person to fall in love with this router also. I mean, that's the big thing is when you're taking a look at the WRT, you really need to understand what's going on at home, right? What's your pain point? And the biggest pain point for a lot of our customers is being able to stream and have multiple devices on at one time. That's where the WRT really satisfies those two pain points that our customers are coming to Newegg here to be able to look at and say, I need a new router, I need my family to be up and connected. So you don't need to be a super ultra techie person to use this. We really want to be able to satisfy all things that are happening at home, and that's the WRT 1900AC. This is the workhorse, just like the original WRT 54G was. This is going to take care of everyone at home. I want to add something else to that. This has currently, right now, the most powerful dual-core processor in routers, if I'm not mistaken. And the feature set is awesome. It comes with beamforming technology and everything new that's currently out there. So literally, you are trying to take this router to the heights that this router was at. And so far, I think that you've done an excellent job. I mean, this thing is so feature-packed. It's a substantial router. I hope that it's here and blows away the 50 million that you've had for the last 11 or 12 years. That's amazing. Yeah, it's an amazing router. Our teams back at the offices have been really diligently working on this. So it's a testament to having that team that's been working on this, and of course keeping our customers in mind. We want to keep them happy so they can really make their home
the home that they really want to come home to after a hard day's work.
Absolutely. Everybody wants to jump on the internet as soon as they get home.
Yep.
So Mike, thanks again for sitting with us and speaking about this new router. I can't wait to actually get it and start playing with it. So thank you for bringing that in.
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys also for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to all of our other various YouTube channels. But until then, we'll see you guys very soon.